Good afternoon, adventurers. We got out a little bit late today, but we're gonna have ourselves another little day exploring Berlin. It's gonna be cool.
Yeah, and the weather is absolutely perfect.
Yeah, it's
even
very nice.
Maybe a little too hot.
First thing we're doing is we came out to a park. It's called Humboldtine Park, and this place has got a lot of history.
It just looks like a park, but there's a lot of stuff that went down here during the war. I guess it went from a park to a battlefield, and now it's back to a park.
So in 1869 is when they first started building the park, and then during the Second World War it was bombed like crazy because it was the site of a bunch of bunkers, and they had a bunch of anti-aircraft guns. So a lot of bombing happened here. They destroyed a lot of it. There was like this epic church that got almost completely destroyed. Eventually they had to tear it down, but then they ended up just filling in most of the bunkers, and I think foliage and greenery just kind of grew on top of it. One thing that I really love about Germany is that nothing is really as simple as it seems. Even just like a normal looking park like this has a ton of really interesting history. That was a tough climb.
Yeah, woo, we did it.
I think we made it to the top. We read that there's a pretty sick lookout. Oh yeah, that looks pretty sick.
This is one of 8 flak towers that were built throughout Germany. Obviously most of it has been destroyed now, and most of the other ones have been too, but apparently if you do a tour you can go inside of this one still. Unfortunately we haven't done that, so we can just explore the outside. But rumor is one of them has been turned into a dance club and dance school, I think, which is very weird. I think there's like anti-gassing rooms that are now dance floors. It sounds pretty hardcore.
You guys will not believe this, but this is the tower we were standing on top of. So this is where I flew the drone, from right there. Then we walked down these steps and all around here. This whole thing is overgrown. That's insane.
That's really nuts,
Yeah,
actually.
that is absolutely nuts.
What? So they made the hill?
Yeah, they like must have built a hill onto it or something. Wow.
Way. So I wonder if you do the tour, if you can go like in there.
So there's a whole complex in there, a whole structure like that. So next up we've come to the Bernauer Strasse wall memorial, and it's a place where you can see the outline of where the wall used to be, where these metal spokes are kind of stuck in the ground. There's also a memorial to the Chapel of Reconciliation, which was destroyed a few years before the wall came down. But the church was kind of a symbol of the division between East and West Germany. And did you figure out why they tore it down?
I can't figure it out. They have a bunch of information, but none of it says why. They just said it had to come down because it was the symbol of division.
Yeah.
But it's so sad. It was a beautiful old church.
On the ground here, they've outlined the border of where the church sat, and they have the memorial back here. This area here that we're hanging out in is the death strip. The death strip was the land between the wall, because the wall was kind of 2 parts, and they had this zone in the middle that if you went in there, as the name implies, you would get killed. But this church sat right in the middle of the death strip, which I think ultimately is why they ended up tearing it down. So to give you an idea of how big the death strip was, you can see those poles over there which represent the west side of the wall, and then you have the east side of the wall back there where that graffiti is, right there. This outline here was the outline of a house, and you can see the wall cuts right through it. So it would go up against the wall of the house, and then the house would be kind of commandeered for military purposes or shut down, I guess, and then the wall would continue on the other side. we are back at our apartment. We're just jamming to some Purity Ring. I better turn that off. But if you haven't listened to Purity Ring, you should check them out on Spotify because they are one of our favorites.
One of our favorites.
What do we got going in here? I think we're going to make a little something because we kind of got...
Yeah, so earlier we left the park and my big plan for the day was to try, I believe it's pronounced Spätzle, but it's like the super German, the little egg noodles that you eat. And we've never had them. We didn't have them last time we came through. So it was a big bust. We went to like 15 different places. None of them had it, or they were cash only. We didn't have cash.
Yeah, we ran out of cash the other day and haven't been able to get to an ATM.
And we don't have our debit card with us, so I don't know. So literally, I think we walked around for about 2 hours. Also, our cell signal does not work very well here.
Yeah.
So we couldn't really look up places. And then we just decided, let's go to the grocery store. So that's what we did. And we came back here. So now I'm going to make us some bagels and some homemade French fries and roasted carrots, I think.
Oh, it's gonna be good.
And then we're gonna Netflix and chill, but like literally Netflix and relax.
We've also got some beer that we're drinking.
Oh yes.
You guys are gonna laugh at me, but I put my beer on ice because I just can't stand it warm.
Well,
it was too warm, dang it.
It's over 80 degrees here today, and so we walked home with the beers, and they got way too warm.
And I wanted it now. Dang it.
Well, luckily mine was in the fridge from the other night, so it's nice and cold.
Step 1, cut up all these delicious looking vegetables. Yo, this dinner turned out amazing. Allison killed it. The burger and the potatoes and the carrots look awesome. We added a little tomato to it. I think this is gonna be pretty dang good.
Semblance of healthiness.
Yeah, well, it's healthy now because there's tomato there.
Yeah. And there's carrots, a few.
And this delicious mustard.
Yeah, and healthy beer.
Healthy beer. We've been hanging out and watching our own vlogs. I don't know if that's weird. It's probably a little weird, but.
We were just talking about when we went to Yosemite and how fun it was because we were with Nikita, who was Matt, who's not here with us, but.
So we're watching one of our, we've been watching all of our Yosemite vlogs, but you guys will have to go back and watch this one.
Yeah, I think this one we were talking about specifically, on our drive out there, we came upon an abandoned vehicle and it was really crazy. So we were trying to remember the situation.
Yeah.
So we started watching it and then we just watched other ones because it's just so fun to relive the moments you had.
Yeah, and honestly, we were kind of arguing about what had happened. So I was like, let's go to the vlog. But anyways, I think we are going to destroy this.
Oh, yes.
And then we downloaded a movie, which is our thing, I guess. So after this, we're going to watch that.
And then we will be out exploring. No, tomorrow's probably work day, and then we'll be out exploring Berlin.
Yeah. But by the way, I wanted to let you guys know that you guys can book this Airbnb that we're staying in.
Yes.
We're going to have a link to that in the description below. We've been staying in 2 different places in 2 different locations around Berlin, but it's been pretty easy to access everything from here.
Yeah, awesome. There's a train station right up the road. It's actually the first stop between East and West Berlin that was opened up when the wall came down, which is pretty dang cool.
Yeah.
But dinner time, bedtime, and then more exploring time. Good night, adventurers.
We'll see you on the road.